Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I guess in a way, welcome myself back to my own YouTube channel because I've been gone for quite a while. I have not been absent. I still see your guys' likes on Instagram. I still look at the comments from time to time, and I do reply to some Instagram messages that I do get. So I haven't been away fully, but I have been away from making YouTube. The reason for this is that I have been in college now for a while. Thankfully, my course is ending on the 27th and 28th of February. However, starting March, I am moving houses to another house that has a bigger room for me. So essentially now I have more time to get back to YouTube, and I'm very excited to get back on YouTube because I want to start posting weekly. So I'm thinking every Saturday or Sunday, post a new video for you guys. They could be a custom showcase, a tutorial, a review, or just some thoughts, just so that you guys know I'm still with you guys and that I haven't left yet. Obviously, you can tell that my shelf looks very different from the last time you guys saw it, and I believe that video was in commissions, if I'm not mistaken. I did kind of a showcase, or I don't know, but I did a video not long ago on my channel that showcased my room and what it looked like, which since then it has changed a lot. If some of you remember, I had Dragon Ball figures all the way up and down this shelf. Not anymore. That's because, college is expensive, so I sold off almost all of my figures except for those ones up there, which were my favorite, and I sold them all off, which was, in my opinion, the right thing to do because, like I said, college ain't cheap, and thankfully I was able to do it all. I succeeded in what I wanted to do. I don't want to get into that kind of stuff, but I did do everything accordingly, so, I'm really happy about that. That's why I have such energy right now, because I feel really good about, my return to YouTube, because I have such a good mindset right now. I'm feeling very confident, and so I feel really good coming back to you guys, and I'm really glad that you guys have still supported me even while I was away. I've missed you guys just as much as I hope and guess that you guys have missed me. So in this video, I kind of want to just showcase my room and talk about the channel, because the first major thing I want to do to the channel is rename it. So I no longer want to call it Dragon Ball, I think Z Customs, what it was called. I want to rename it to A through Z Customs. And the reason I want to call it A through Z Customs is because I no longer just want to focus on Dragon Ball stuff. Over the time I've been gone, I have made customs of other characters that were not of Dragon Ball, and I wanted to showcase them to you guys, or talk about them, because I thought you guys would have liked to have seen on my channel, but because this isn't, like I said, an all figures channel, it wouldn't have made sense. But now that this channel is for all figures, I can show you some of these new showcases. So we're gonna go basically up the shelves, and I'll start shelf by shelf talking about what's here. If we go to this bottom shelf right here, you can just see my games and Marcus and Dom from Gears of War 3. Back in my middle school days, which was so long ago now, I loved Gears of War, and I still love Gears of War. It is one of my favorite game franchises, next to, I don't know if you can tell, but the Arkham games. I think the Arkham games are my favorite game series. I honestly think Arkham Origins was very underrated, and Arkham Knight was overhyped. I didn't like Arkham Knight. I loved Arkham Origins, however. My favorite will always be Arkham Asylum, however. I just loved Arkham Asylum. It was a beautiful game. Moving up a shelf, we have my Batman shelf, I guess. I don't know, because let me get in close, because here's what I wanted to start really showcasing to you guys. This is one of my favorite figures in my room. This is the DC Universe Classics Bane figure. If you guys own this figure, you guys know just how badass of a figure this is. I love this figure. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of this figure. I also at a thrift shop found this Mattel DC, I don't know what these all are called, but it's a little Bane from Arkham Origins. And I love Bane. Bane is my favorite Batman villain, hands down. Even Tom Hardy's. Actually, even the one that came out in Batman and Robin, I thought he was pretty enjoyable. So I picked this guy up at a thrift shop for like $1, I think. I have some books. I have The Art of Rocksteady, Nightfall, Volume 1 and 2. I am still looking to pick up Volume 3. The Dark Knight Returns, Death in the Family, some Greg Capullo comics. I have Batman Noel and a few comic books. Pretty standard stuff. Moving on up here, you guys can't even really see much, so I'll try to brighten it up. I have some of these die-cast cars. This was actually my car. I used to own this Mitsubishi Eclipse from '97. It was a GST, for those of you who know about cars. I loved this car. It was very unreliable, so I had to end up selling it because it was costing me more money than college was at the time. So now I actually own a Subaru WRX. Now that I have more money, I was able to buy a good car. I have a Subaru WRX Bug-Eye from 2003. I have done a crap load of mods to it because I am also a car enthusiast. I love cars. One of the major things I did to my car was I did a whole engine swap. I gave it an STI engine because I found an engine for not that much, and the labor I did myself, so I swapped the engine. It's a fantastic car. I love my WRX. Then I have more of my kiddish stuff again. This here is the Studio Series Megatron from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. As you guys know, on my channel not long ago, I posted that video of the Leader Class Megatron upgrade, which I ended up selling that figure as well. And I found this guy at Target for, I think, like 30 bucks, 25 bucks. Anyway, the figure itself is fantastic. I bought it that DNA upgrade kit. However, the one problem I had with it was the paint on it. So what I did was I actually repainted it. And this is one of those figures I might want to do a showcase for because the lighting right now is not doing it justice. But I painted some golds on it. I gave it the rust effect. Overall, fantastic figure. I love Transformers. Transformers is one of the things that I have a strong passion for, just like Dragon Ball. It is such a part of my childhood. I love Transformers, and I love Michael Bay's Transformers. I think the last one, the Last Night, I think it was called, was kind of a shit movie. But Age of Extinction was pretty fun in my opinion. In the shadows right there, I have Jetfire, who was a birthday gift. I love him. Moving up a shelf up here, again, super dark and hard to see stuff. But up here we have some more, oh, my controller fell. Some NECA figures for those of you who collect NECA, as well as my DVD collections. There's the Fast and Furious. I find these movies very enjoyable. I like the first 3 a lot. The rest are just like a dumb laugh, which is funny because I actually own the first 3. Oh, and back there is my Planet of the Apes movies, as well as Godzilla. I love the Planet of the Apes movies. Those are fantastic movies. Which remind me, here's an art book of Godzilla. I am a tremendous Godzilla fan. This movie brings me back to me and my older brother and my father. When we were little, we would watch these movies, the old Japanese ones on VHS. And I loved this movie. I love both of these movies for very different reasons. This one's a really good movie, and this one's a really good like kaiju movie. But back over here, I have Shin Godzilla as my only Godzilla in my collection. For those of you who have seen Shin Godzilla, you'll know how kick-ass this movie is. It's honestly, if not the best Godzilla movie to date, it is one of the best. I have here Jason from the reboot. I kind of repainted his mask a little bit. I wanted to make it look more movie accurate with the scuffage on that. Here's my Freddy vs. Jason figure, which, again, this Jason figure brings me back to when I had the DVD of this. Me and my brother would always love this movie. I know it's not a really kid-friendly movie, but, I mean, what the hell with it, right? This NECA did a phenomenal job on this figure. Again, I repainted the head. I dirtied up this jacket piece and repainted the hair as well. Overall, this is my favorite Jason figure in my collection. You'll notice that a lot of the stuff in my collection stems from either modern stuff or completely from my childhood. For example, here is the NECA Predator 2 figure. This is my favorite Predator. I love Predators. I love Alien versus Predator. I like Wolf from Requiem, even though it was a really bad movie. Still, the City Hunter, in my opinion, is my hands down favorite Predator. I don't think I'll ever love another Predator as much as this guy. He is just really cool. And NECA just knocked it out of the park in doing this figure. Moving up a shelf, we get the MCU. Well, more or less, because I don't really own a lot of MCU. Back here I have the Avengers art book from the first movie. I actually still have my tickets from the first movie when I went to go see it. I really love Avengers. I have a lot of Phase 1 movies. In fact, I think I'm missing Iron Man 2. But if I had Iron Man 2, I would have had all the Phase 1 movies. Here's my custom Captain America figure. A lot of you saw on my Instagram. An update I did to him is I gave him a magnet on the shield. And I gave him a magnet on the back there. So the back actually straps on. And I also found a 1911? A 1911 pistol. So I gave it to him, completing the World War II look. Here is the... I apologize for the dark lighting. This part of my room doesn't get much light. This is my... Endgame Captain America, which I've also repainted. I've given now a green tone, and I've also given him some scuffage. Here is the Marvel Select Thanos. I have owned 3 Thanoses now. I've owned the Marvel Legends one, as you guys saw. I had the ZD Toys one for a bit, and then I had this one. Out of all of them, this one's my favorite. I like the head sculpt. I like the height of him. I repainted the... arm, however, and I also redid his boots, giving him some more detail, and I kept the ZD blade on him. I just think that this scale works properly. Again, here's a Marvel... Here's a Marvel Legends Mark 80, 85, I think, which I've also given some, like, dirt to, just to kind of, like, really seal the look of, like, the final battle. And... coming over here, which I have just broken. I apologize. But I have a custom Fat Thor that I have made. As you can see, I literally just stepped on his head and I broke off a bit of his hair. But I guess I can showcase to you guys in this like an actual showcase video. But I did create my own custom Fat Thor. Gave him the beer belly. I actually gave him a custom Stormbreaker as well. The head, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'll do a showcase on that, as well as a showcase on this Mysterio figure, because I also redid this Mysterio figure. I repainted it. I really made it look top-notch. And then I have the MCU Vulture there, which I love Spider-Man from the MCU. Tom Holland for the win. One last thing I forgot to show you is that I own this third-party, not a third-party, but it's like this, it's a head for Tony Stark, which I've also bloodied up. This is the only head that fits on the Mark 85 body. So I thought that was a cool. And lastly up here is the remnants of Dragon Ball. I kept my favorite figures. So all these figures that you're seeing are my favorites. I have Super Boo, the San Diego Comic-Con Broly, the Datong Frieza, this custom which started it all with a gold hair. I'll explain that in a bit. Vegeta from the Majin Buu arc. Great Salmon, great figure. And then I have this figure, which has gold hair, the Dragon Star's body, and some pants. I tried to make this figure look like the Super Battle Collections figure. I don't know if any of you guys remember those figures, but those were figures that like had these removable shirts with gold hair. I remember I had one of those as a kid, and I loved it, so I tried to remake that one. 2 statues that they were gifts, some books. I have these playing cards right there, pretty cool. Back there I have the God Vegeta and God Goku from my favorite Dragon Ball movie, which is Resurrection F. I also I think I own Broly. I do own Broly, it's right there. I love all these Dragon Ball movies, but I think Resurrection F has to be my favorite, and then Broly. So that's this shelf. There's still a few other shelves I want to showcase to you. Oh, here's a random figure. This is my Dwight from The Office. This is my favorite TV show of all time. I love The Office. It's such a humble show, and it really makes me cry. It made me cry, actually, quite a few times watching this show. Moving on, I have this little shelf right here, which doesn't really have much. I have some cool knickknacks, like I have this mug from The Office, which was a Christmas present. I have this little clear X-Wing and a Millennium Falcon, because for me, the things that I love the most are Star Wars, Transformers, Dragon Ball, Marvel, and Batman. Those are like my top tier things. I can't tell you which I love more. Here I have some more collectibles. This was a Christmas gift from a friend of mine. It's a Darth Vader lightsaber that does have like the ignition part, but I just have it like that. I have a Darth Vader cup from Disneyland in Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is super fun, as well as a Jenga, which I actually use as a piggy bank. Back there I have a figure I got in a lot. That is the Elite Series Stormtrooper Commander, I think it's called. I don't know. That thing is made of die-cast metal. It is heavy. I could kill someone with that. I'm not going to, but it's heavy. And it's dangerous. Moving up a shelf, we have some Black Series figures, kind of. Back here, I have a little Clone Wars Anakin, as well as this cheap Anakin figure that, again, I got off a lot. That right there is a custom Mezco style Anakin. I gave him actual, like a shirt with actual leather around it. I think that turned out pretty cool. Here is the ultimate big baddie Darth Vader figure. If you're looking for a Darth Vader figure in this scale of Black Series, definitely pick up this figure. This is the figure you want. And over here I have a Darth Vader from the Bandai model kits. I'm trying to customize it to be the Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader. You can tell because of the shoulder pads. I'm still working on it. And then I have this custom robe, or not a custom robe. It's a robe I bought off eBay. The seller was fantastic. It's honestly such a fantastic robe. Leave that right here. Moving up, I have the Mandalorians. I have the Archive Series Boba Fett. This is the knockoff Jango Fett figure. That back there is the Mafex, what is it? Return of the Jedi. And then I have the Mandalorian himself with a little baby Yoda. If you guys are wondering where I picked up all this stuff, I got the baby Yoda from an online website called John Walker Customs. Definitely check him out. He sells some phenomenal stuff. I have him a shoulder pad there. I got that from another website called Two Sons Customs, which is a Facebook group. Really good stuff. I gave this custom figure a cloth cape, and I also repainted his gloves to give him that orange and black. I'm also gonna buy a new helmet for him. I saw that on John Walker's Custom, his page. He is selling a new helmet that I really want to pick up, so I'm definitely gonna pick that up. And then up here, I have two lightsabers. Those are the ones that you buy at Disney. They both broke because me and my sister were playing really hard with them. It's Luke Skywalker's and Kylo Ren's. I love Kylo Ren. He's like the best thing of these new movies. But if I have to tell you, my favorite timeline of Star Wars actually is the prequels. I know, don't crucify me guys, but I love the prequels. Hands down, I think they were one of the best Star Wars because there was so much action. The music was fantastic. I really want to pick up a Darth Maul figure because I love Darth Maul. But they were such fantastic movies. I really enjoy them. And then the last shelf I have to show you is what I call my prized possession shelf. I have a lot of 1/6 figures, so I'll start kind of panning over. So the first figure I have here is a 1/6 scale Jango Fett figure. If you're wondering what figure this is actually a 2002 Hasbro Jango Fett figure. I really want to make a review on this figure, talking about a few stuff. So I'll talk more on this figure in that review of him solo. You can expect that maybe next weekend, because I really want to go over this figure because I utilized a different body for him. So I really want to touch on that. Then I have this tremendous Star Wars poster that just showcases everyone except for everyone in the prequels that isn't the Phantom Menace. There's no General Grievous, no Count Dooku, no Mace Windu. I don't know what the hell's up with that. They're missing. But right here, front and center, fighting over Luke and Leia, we have Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the Archive Series Anakin, and this is the body is from the Episode 3 Obi-Wan, and that head is the Clone Commander. I have customized this Anakin. I have actually repainted his glove black with the silver striping as it should be. So I just love the way this figure looks. And these two are here battling for what I like to look at this pose and think of it as the Duel of Fates. As you know, that's the track from Phantom Menace. But if you think about it, their fight really was the Duel of Fates. If Anakin won, Obi-Wan would have never trained Luke, and he would have won. Darth Vader would have won. And if Obi-Wan had actually killed Luke, or had killed Anakin, there wouldn't be a Darth Vader. So this really was the Duel of Fate. So I really love this too, and I really like this pose. Moving on over here, I have my ultimate figures, my most favorite figures. First up on our list is this 1/6 scale Anakin Skywalker. This is actually not the Hot Toys figure. This is that third-party kit figure. Again, another figure I really want to make a review of. So if I do make that video, stay tuned for that, because I have that on my things to record and to make a review of. But I just love Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi are the best things to come out of the prequels. A lot of people hated Hayden Christensen. Wow, I tried to say that 5 times. A lot of people hated him. They thought his performance was weak, but I thought he did a really good job. I do feel his story was a little weak, but I mean, that's the least of my concerns. I really liked Anakin, and I definitely want to pick up the Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi to have these two displayed like these two are, and then have these two go over there to that shelf. Next to him, we have the Hot Toys Thanos. Gosh, this figure left me speechless when I got it. There is a new one coming out, the Armored Thanos from Avengers Endgame. I definitely want to pick up that figure too. And I also want to pick up the Infinity War Thor, because I really love Thor from Infinity War. So I think having this guy with that guy and him with Obi-Wan would look phenomenal. It's just spectacular, and I really want to do that. And then lastly over here, we have arguably the greatest Batman to ever see the cinema. This is Christian Bale's Batman Begin. This is the NECA 1/4 figure. Just, gosh, the detail on this thing is crazy. Now, I bought this figure as kind of a salvage. I don't know if I can get some better lighting. Because when I bought this figure, it was at like at a sale. And it was so cheap because it seemed like someone was painting like with a spray can near this figure. Because when I bought it, this figure was like covered in like white drops everywhere. And it was really annoying, and I couldn't remove it. So I ended up just repainting the whole figure a matte black. Even the gauntlets here, because I know NECA had these like as a glossy black. But I painted the matte black and the boots as well. Because I was watching some images, or looking at some images from the movie, and he actually does have, in some shots, these matte black gauntlets and matte black boots. So I was like, oh, perfect. I also tried to retouch the belt a bit. I redid his face a little bit better, you know, just to cover up all that black. And I cleaned up his velvet cape there so it's not so dirty. Honestly, I love this Batman. This is my favorite Batman suit of all time. I at one point did have the Hot Toys Batman v Superman Batman. However, I just didn't like it as much, and the figure was really tall. To give you an idea, this is obviously a normal 1/12 scale figure next to Thanos. Batman was like around here. He was really tall. It was a really tall figure. I didn't like that, so I just got rid of it. I sold it off for some money. So, like I said, those three right there are my prized possession figures. I really want to make a review of this figure, so stay tuned for that if I do make a review on it. But I love that figure. I love this figure. I love these two dueling out right here. I love this Django. I really want to make a review on him. And yeah, guys, this video was a lot longer than I originally anticipated. But I hope I cleared up a few things. I hope you guys know that I'm okay. And I'm really excited about getting back to YouTube. And I'm going to try to post every Saturday or Sunday, like I said. And yeah, that's about it. Now, before I go, if you've watched it all the way to the end of this movie, I want to start a debate with you guys. I was talking with a friend of mine, and I said, with bold statements, that a Jedi could beat Thanos instantly. Here's my argument. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a master at the mind tricks, right? He mind tricked Thanos because we know that Thanos is susceptible to that. I know that to use mind tricks on someone, you have to be weak-minded, but think about it. Thanos, throughout the entire movie, did not want to snap. He was guilty. He felt awful about killing his daughter. So he could definitely have like a case of not the best, strong-minded. He had a strong will, but it's different from a strong mind. So I feel like having him kind of go under the influence of a Jedi mind trick could cause him to drop the gauntlet, and then once he drops the gauntlet, boom, he's done for. A slash of the lightsaber and he's done for. Or even in a good hand-to-hand combat, like against Obi-Wan, and just slash the gauntlet and you're done for. This gauntlet we know isn't indestructible because we know that after a snap it breaks. So we know that is, you can destroy that. So like I said, in my opinion, I think a Jedi could easily knock out Thanos. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really want to have a discussion with you guys about that. And yeah, guys, so till my next video, which hopefully should be posted next weekend. Have a good day, guys. Good night, good evening, whatever it is, whatever time you're watching this on. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one.